We do not come here to commemorate a so-called Human Rights Day, but to remember and honor the sacrifice of those who fell on the 21st March 1960 at the hands of murderous apartheid regime.
Hello, dear viewers. Thanks for tuning in on PBS TV Uganda. But if it's your first time, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment for more interesting stories. I'm Brian Pasco Sechito, PBS TV Uganda News. In our top story today, we all know that Julius Malema is a very big man if it comes to politics in South Africa. And most of his sayings, there are very many people that do always follow and listen. We got you something.
Relevant all of you, the ground forces of the EFF. This EFF is still alive today because you kept it alive. And therefore we are always happy to be amongst you because you are on the ground fighting for the poor of the poorest. Relevant members of the media who are here and the people of South Africa, the people of the continent and the diaspora. Comrades, because EFF is international, we are going to spend most of our time today speaking in the colonial language, English, because we must communicate even to the outside world. Today, we gathered here in the historic township of Sharpeville, a place that carries the blood of our ancestors, the pain of our past, and the resilience of our struggle. We do not come here to commemorate a so-called Human Rights Day, but to remember and honor the sacrifice of those who fell on the 21st March 1960 at the hands of murderous apartheid regime. We call it Sharpeville Massacre Day because it is a day of struggle and sacrifice, and not a day where opportunists and racists should be allowed to hijack this day to claim that it represents their human rights which has been violated. We call it Sharpeville Massacre Day because to call it anything else is to undermine the memory of those who gave their lives in the struggle against white domination, and it will allow history to be distorted. It was on this day that thousands of black South Africans took to the streets in defiance of the oppressive past laws imposed by the apartheid government. These laws were not just pieces of paper. They were chains that bound our people to poverty, oppression, and the state-sanctioned violence. Led by the PAC, our people courageously stood against injustice, demanding an end to the past law that restricted their movement in their own land. But instead of being met with dialogue, they were met with bullets. Sharpeville was not just a massacre. It was a declaration of war by the apartheid regime against the black majority. It was a moment that exposed the true brutality of white minority rule to the entire world. The cowardice of the apartheid regime meant that unarmed and peaceful Africans were shot in the back as they tried to flee, their bodies riddled with bullets, their dreams cut short by a government that saw black lives as disposable. The passbook, known as the Dompas, was the physical embodiment of apartheid brutality and inhumanity. It was a document of oppression designed to control and dehumanize black people in their own land. This small book dictated where a black person could live, where they could work, and even when they could move. It was not just a piece of paper. It was a weapon of humiliation, a daily reminder that in the eyes of the white supremacist state, black people were not human beings, but subject to be controlled, to be policed, restricted, and punished at will. It was the tool that kept our people in township with no running water or electricity, while white suburbs flourished with stolen wealth. Today, White supremacists do not need a compass to undermine our human rights, because even after 30 years of democracy, Africans remain in poverty, living in shacks without water, electricity, or dignity. We are told to move on from the crimes of apartheid, yet the reality of apartheid remains the same, because a white life in this country is worth more than black life. The worth of a white life on South Africa means so much that when there is a death of a white person due to crime that affects us all, it is called a white genocide, because whenever a white person dies, the whole world must pay attention. Fellow fighters, we must refuse the idea that a black life is so cheap that even our history of sacrifice and resistance can be changed to message to conscience, to massage the conscience of our oppressors.
Thanks for always following us on all our social media platforms. You do great whenever you like, share and comment on whatever we upload on our online platforms. May God bless you. We love you so much. More blessings. PBS TV Uganda, I'm Brian Pascal Setito. Be blessed. We'll bring you more.